You started talking right when we went live.
Oh.
I was like, oh, God, please don't say anything bad. No, you would never say anything bad. Wasted World of Sports, ahoy. Odd Poppet, how are you, mate? Welcome along to our very first ever Formula One stream. And just because this is the first time that we're doing this, as always, it's nice to have a co-host. So I have welcomed along Jamie. Jamie!
Ahoy!
Let's,
How are we doing?
Sorry?
Said how are we doing?
How are we doing? Yes, I was going to say let's do a mic check, but I can see it works. All stuff that we probably should have done pre-stream, but hey, no, I have never once pretended that this is like Fox Sports, Sky Sports broadcast quality. Not a once. Although there may be some of the perceived Sky Sports bias towards certain drivers and certain teams. I guarantee you that does exist here. 100%.
Oh, it's there's no holding back on this one. That's it's pretty much free for all.
Oh yes. We can say what we want. Well, within certain YouTube guidelines, we can say what we want when we want and don't have to feel ashamed about it. Razor 994, ahoy. And Odd Poppet says ahoy, James.
Ahoy, Odd Poppet. Ahoy, Razor. How are we doing today? Are we drinking?
Pause.
I know we're drinking, but are they drinking?
So we are still, I'm still fiddling about behind the scenes here, setting some things up. We are going to have, kind of like we do, if anyone's joined us for other sports, like the rugby or the cricket, I like to have screen overlays, even though it's not necessarily about that. It's more about the banter and the good times than it is the actual statistics and whatnot. But I do like to have those on the screen, so I am working towards getting those up and running. Probably should have had it done already, but the problem is, of course, when nothing is happening, these have only just come up now.
Yeah.
These have come up in the last sort of half hour or so. So it's not like I could have. We have to have done it once to be prepared for future ones. To get the screen set up so that next race. Am I making sense?
Somebody.
See, you know what the problem is? I haven't had enough to drink. Sober Dan is a very nonsensical person. Razor says celebratory drinks when Oscar wins. Oh, okay. Well, this is a nice little segue that Razor's given us into our thoughts on the race as we count down 17 minutes and counting until the race actually gets underway. Now, it's interesting because we did have this all teed up and organized and ready to go. And then Mr. Salty McSaltface here, when Max Verstappen, you know what I mean? I didn't sort of mean to subtly turn in your direction when I meant me. When Max Verstappen got pole, I went, no, Jamie, shit's off. I'm not doing it. I calmed down after about half an hour because I realized McLaren will clearly have a greater race pace. And whilst Max might be able to, probably will, and sort of hope he does for some of the trades that I've got going on, we'll fight them off for quite a few laps, as Max can and will. I think ultimately that superior race pace of McLaren will see them get the victory. What say you?
Yeah, no, I believe that it's like it's only a matter of time before McLaren get ahead. Give it 5 laps max, I reckon.
5 laps maximum?
Maximum,
not five laps.
5 laps for Max Verstappen. No, I reckon 5 laps, and McLaren will be hopefully ahead. Well, at least one driver.
Yeah. Well, one driver would be fine. I'd take that because then they can split strategies.
Yeah.
They can try for the undercut. Keep one car out, bring one car in, force Red Bull's hand. God, is she really tall, or is she up on a podium, or is everybody else behind her just really tiny? Mariko Shimizu. Could suss it out, I suppose, by searching her on Google, finding out what her height is.
I dare say she would be on a
I
podium.
think she's on a podium, yes. Oh, and of course, we get a close up of the hometown hero. Well, home country hero. Don't know if it's necessarily his hometown.
Probably not.
Close up of this little girl for some reason who looks really bored. She looks at pains to be there. I wasn't sure if it was over or not.
That felt a little bit quick.
Yeah, the Japanese, they'll do that. But I digress. Off-stream conversations.
Oh dear.
Welcome to country next, this racer. Oh, now we should sort this out over here. All right. So we've got some screen overlays I'll be working on. So I do apologize if I seem somewhat distracted. I will try and do my best to navigate everything and get it all set up as we roll. I think TikTok, we're just going to have to. TikTok, I think for now anyway, shall just be us. They're just going to have to live with that.
That's it.
I can get something better set up next time because otherwise they're going to miss the race.
At least we know for future anyway. It's just
Exactly
yeah,
right.
it's the first time we're doing it, so
Exactly right. I mean, I look at some of the screen overlays from our early footy streams, and it's like, wow, we've come a long way. So I should imagine that the same thing will happen here for the Formula One. We'll work on those overlays, and how many races do we actually have at a decent time? This is probably the last one, right?
this one and then Las Vegas. I think that's it.
Viva Las Vegas, yes, indeed.
All the other races are pretty much either at 9 p.m., 11 p.m.
Yeah.
And then all the early Monday mornings.
Which would be fine for me. Should I want to do them? Should I want to do them solo? Completely fine for me. No, it's all right on YouTube. I'd pop it. There will be other things on the screen once they become available and I get a chance to set them up. It's the poor people on TikTok that are stuck with us. Razor says practices and qualifiers had multiple red flags for grass fires. Oh, that's something we didn't talk about. Wonder how today goes. Well, okay. Has it rained? Do we know if it's rained?
Not a clue. I'll quickly Google that.
Yeah, if it rained overnight, then it might not be a problem. I know that rain is potentially forecast for the race itself. So grass fires, maybe not an issue. But how crazy was that, though? How many were there? 2, 3?
Oh god, I've lost count.
Yeah, there were a few. There was more than one. Put it that way. There's definitely more than one. Grass fires.
Yeah. I think there was 2 in FP3. Was it? I can't remember if there was one in the qualifying or not, but
So that's what I'm hoping for anyway. Not grass fires, but just going back to talking about race winner. Yeah, I would hope that.
according to
Oh, sorry, go.
oh, you're right. According to Google, it's a nice, cool 15 degrees in Suzuka. It's cloudy, so let's see how it goes. At least the sparks look good though. The FIA is talking about what metal or whatever they're using under the cars, I believe,
Oops.
and as long as the sparks look good, apparently. So
Yeah, right. Photographs well.
yeah, that's it. Looks sick.
Looks great on television. Did you see on I don't know if you follow her, Bianca Bustamante on Instagram, does a lot of behind the scenes footage of training and stuff. And I'd never really thought about it, but the amount of like neck endurance workouts that they do, and it makes sense when you actually sit and think about it. I had never really sat and thought about it before, but yeah, there's this machine that she sits on, and it pushes resistance ahead, and she
Yeah,
pushes
right.
back,
I don't think I've seen that
and
one.
has to hold that for like however long she has to hold it for, and it's obviously that um, building that pressure resistance on the neck. Oh, look who it is, Mr. Adam Bainon. Am I saying that correctly, by the way?
Yeah.
Adam, how are you, sir?
Ahoy, mate.
There has been some rain earlier. Sections of the track are a bit moist. How good is that word?
Oh, he loves that word.
And there shouldn't be any grass fires. There we go. That's backing up, I suppose, what I had suggested. If there was rain around, shouldn't be an issue. There he is, Max Verstappen, you son of a bitch. I've got to remember we're on YouTube, so not call him what I normally call him. Although I did love that video that I shared to yourself and Lee with that drunk guy that was like, Max Verstappen.
Not even too sure if I remember that one.
It was the guy that was talking about, the guy who turned out to be a drunken genius. Who was, they asked him, who's going to take over Checo Perez's seat? And he said, I think Liam Lawson.
Yes.
And then they asked him, so who's going to take over Liam Lawson's seat in the racing balls? I reckon Lawson. It turns out the man was a genius.
He was onto something. Always believe the drunks, you know? Well, not.
Hey.
Depends, but, you know.
UFC, ahoy, mate. UFC only fams. Welcome along. Ready for some racing? This guy looks like your white half brother.
Everyone always makes some sort of comparison about us being related.
I think it's the beards. Got to be the beards.
Must be.
Das is good. Sorry, I'm repeating commercials. Welcome along, TikTok. By the way, sorry, this is our first Formula One stream. We mainly cover the NRL and the Super Rugby, the rugby union games, cricket, doing some of the IPL coming up. Our first Formula One stream, so I am really behind on the overlays. But coming up on YouTube, we will have the driver positions. The driver positions and the track overlay coming up. Kobe says, up Tim Zoo. That was a fight that was going on today.
Ah, right.
So I'm assuming that Tim Zoo won.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think I should be throwing. Oh, he won by TKO.
Good on.
Which I believe is technical knockout.
Good on that guy.
Good on that guy. Tim Zoo. You know, you heard the name though, right? Tim Zoo?
I know the zoo name. Wasn't there a guy that a while ago, Kostya Zoo? Or?
Yep. Well, is Tim his brother or his son? They are related.
I would guess son.
Jason Calloway, ahoy, mate. Son. There we go. Son, confirmed. Who is going to win the Formula One? Well, I mean, I hope one of the McLarens. Either one. Actually, you know what? I don't. Anybody but Max Verstappen. I mean, I can't even say anybody but Red Bull. I wouldn't care if Yuki won. I'd be fine with that. A Yuki Tsunoda win. The Astri, says Kobe. Trevor Clark, ahoy there, mate. Haynes, you backed Melbourne. Very nice. Melbourne Storm versus Manly coming up in the NRL. So Yeah, I mean, just honestly, anyone but Max Verstappen, I'll be happy. But Max will obviously have the lead for quite a few laps. No, we're gonna stick to the stick to the Formula One today. I wanted to try the Formula One, and it just so happened because Jamie works a regular 9 to 5, unlike myself. Then there's only certain races that he's able to come along and do with me. So, $100, Dan. What driver you got your money on? Lando. If I had to put a bet on, Lando started in P2. They'll probably use Piastri to attempt an undercut, though. Could they be still behind Red Bull coming up to the first pit stops? Which actually brings him into play quite a little bit. I'd say the safe bet, though, is Lando. So if I had $100 and you forced me to put it on something, that's what I would put it on. Piastri for the win. Says two people, Christopher and Kobe, both saying Piastri for the win. Look, honestly, it wouldn't bother me. But to answer the question, if I had $100 to put on, that's what I would put on. I'd also put like a cheeky wager on Lance Stroll as well. Never know. Look, Stroll starting from 20. I mean, imagine if they got to a situation where Stroll or somebody further down gets a free pit stop. Don't pit him, because what have you got to lose anyway?
Yeah.
Starting in 19th to 20th.
He's actually really doing really well for my fantasy teams.
Oh, you didn't put him in, did you?
Yeah, well, not on all of them. Like I've got a few F1 fantasy teams, but he's actually bringing in a fair bit of points. So
oh, right.
Had to. I put him in there just for laughs, and it's actually worked out.
Yeah, well, I put Williams as one of my constructors.
Yeah.
Just for a laugh. That's it. The extent of that. The extent of that statement right there. So, yeah, I mean, imagine that situation. You're starting from 19th to 20th. Looks like, okay, we've got some more data up there. Looks like Dillon and Stroll are starting on the softs. So, it's obviously not in their mindset to take a punt. But if you're starting that far back, I thought you're obviously not going to be able to pull off a one-stopper. I say most teams will be pretty clear-cut two-stop. But if you're starting from 19th or 20th, why not take a punt, take a risk? I like to live dangerously. I would set myself out there for a very long first stint and hope for a flag. Because why not? It's not like you're going to win anyway. Take a risk, and you just never know. You never know. Formula One throws up some bizarre things.
Oh, anything can happen.
Especially with red flags, safety cars,
track fires. It only seems to be a thing in Japan, doesn't it? I'm pretty sure I remember it being a thing last year. I want to say, but
I wasn't watching last year.
Yeah, well, there was a certain domination going on.
There was a big time domination going on over the past couple of years, and yeah, as much as the back end of last year started to become exciting as far as race results, the championship was over. Bloody 7 races in last year. They were that far ahead. Didn't really matter for the rest of it. Odd Poppet says Williams are dead in the water this year.
Don't know about that. They've already got more points than they did last year, didn't they?
Yeah, once again, I'm not entirely sure on that one, but
I wish I had some. I wish I actually looked up some stats for this.
yeah, I've got nothing to reference from last year because I wasn't watching. I did check out a couple of races last year at the back end, as I said.
Yeah.
Liam Lawson's racing, yes. He's racing, and he out-qualified Yuki Tsunoda, which I thought was hilarious as they get underway for the warm-up lap. Formation lap, sorry. Same thing. The McLarens nearly ran into each other. I couldn't help but notice. Did you see that? It was probably a lot further away than it looked on the TV, to be fair.
I'm almost just waiting for someone to crash into a wall or something in the formation lap. There seems to be a bit of a thing lately.
Christopher Free says, I heard more people at this track than any track in the world. I don't know. Again, I don't know the statistics for sure, but I think it's one of the more affordable races to go to. Probably. I mean, the Japanese yen is usually pretty strong against all dollars for international visitors.
And if anyone in the chat knows or anything more about the yen, it's probably Razor. He went to Japan last year in October.
Nice.
And I believe Adam, I don't believe, I know Adam went the car 2019.
Yeah.
6 years ago now.
Very cool. Oh, there we go. I could probably put that on the... I could probably get that up on the TikTok feed, the 1, 2, 3. How would I go about... Let me... Oh, excuse me. Mouse. And then we'll get the YouTube side of it set up. Oh, man, I shouldn't have had those. Razor just missed the question about Japan. Christopher Free on TikTok said, I heard more people at this track than any track in the world.
Yeah, and we're talking about how good the yen is against the dollar. And I said was basically referring to Ray as an expert.
This one, I reckon, this window capture will go nicely on the TikTok. Oh, man, I tell you, I am regretting. What have you got there?
Loaded fries. I forgot that I even ordered them when I got here.
Oh, okay, that's what...
what Alara was barking at before.
That's what... yeah, that's what all the commotion was.
Yeah.
I am seriously regretting those jalapeno poppers right before the stream. I may have to duck off for a bit at some stage. Be left all alone.
Well,
how do you feel about that?
Oh, I'm sure I can man the fort for a bit. Here we go.
Race is about to get underway. God damn it, bring it on. There's Valtteri Bottas watching on. Here comes Lance Stroll, bringing up the rear.
Coming, buddy.
All those tires at the front starting to cool down. All right. Green flag waved at the back. The red lights. Goes green, and Max is angled in. He got a good jump. Max is way out in front. Good jump. Norris got a good jump as well. He's right on his tail. Play it calm and cool. McLaren and Verstappen breaks out into an early lead. Now, for McLaren, mission is simple. Just stay within DRS range. DRS, of course, active after the first lap. Oh, Odd Poppet, thank you very much for the super chat.
Cheers, Odd Poppet. Drink to that.
So Max Verstappen, he got a good jump. And we'll keep an eye on the gap that he has open up. Oops. But the McLaren's got a good jump as well. It looked like for one moment that Norris was going to try and sweep around the outside. But common sense prevailed there. I don't think they needed to do anything real. They didn't need to take any risks this early on in the piece. That's for sure. Side by side, that's one of the Aston Martins and an Alpine. Well, it's too far up the field to be Lance Stroll, so it has to be Alonso. He's having a nice little battle there. That's where all the action's taking place, down in the midfield. And across the line to finish lap 1, Max Verstappen is breaking out a 1 second lead. He's out of DRS range. Now that's crucial for Red Bull's race. Pain in the ass for me. They haven't got the times up over there yet, but yeah, he looks like he's opened up a 1 second lead. So Piastri, Lando's in second, Piastri's in third. Piastri will definitely be in DRS range of his teammate. Will team orders come into play, or is there papaya rules? Is that what they say? Papaya rules. And Norris just dropped back out of DRS range. He's right on the brink, and now he drops under again. So Norris is putting the foot down, and he's got himself back within DRS range there on Max Verstappen at the front, and he's opened up a gap on Piastri. So we've got Verstappen leading from Norris and Piastri, Leclerc in fourth. So no change to the top four. As we're on the second lap of 53. 53 doesn't sound like a huge number, but I think it's a longer track, isn't it? Hey! Bloody KO and it's buffering. Audrey says Maxi is like a robot with his braking. He's a late breaker, isn't he, Max? I was looking at the, you know how they do the ghost cars? To do the lap comparisons? They did the ghost cars with the qualifying lap comparison. Max was later on the brakes in pretty much every single corner. As Norris keeping himself within DRS range here on lap 3. Crucial. Kimi Antonelli, honestly, looks like, I mean, I know that he is young, but I mean, he looks young, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He still looks like a kid. And I mean, as I said, he basically is. Waifufi, ahoy there. Welcome back. Costas 2000Z, ahoy. Verstappen opens up that 1 second lead, getting himself back out of DRS range. Audrey, we're from Australia.
Ahoy, Audrey.
So, yeah, we'll be cheering on McLaren. Maybe specifically Oscar.
Yeah.
Anybody but Red Bull. Anybody but Red Bull. I'll be a happy chappy. Michelle, ahoy there.
Ahoy, Michelle. How you doing?
Audrey, I love me some baby Lando. Here's my fave. Well, hopefully he wins. Well, anyone from McLaren. Like I said, anyone but Red Bull. Can't stand Red Bull and bloody whingy Spice Horner. You know, I was thinking about it, and we know that I really do not like Red Bull, and I was thinking about it. I thought, it really is Christian Horner. When I really think about it, the dislike of Red Bull started with Christian Horner. I mean, in all these interviews, you just want to pop him in the face. One of these. Yeah. Anyway, I digress. Di Hendley Osborne. Our TV isn't working. Gutted Max to win. Boo! and love Christian. If I boo any harder, I'll collapse. Audrey says, when I agree with Jos Verstappen, I know he is the issue. Yeah, Jos, what an interesting character, right? See, and I'm not going to turn it into an episode of Dr. Phil or anything, but see, Jos, being Max's father, I kind of give him a little bit of a reprieve on his aggression and competitiveness. Nothing wrong at all with competitiveness, by the way, but when you overstep the boundary, as I perceive him to do on the regular, you know what I'm trying to say? But I do give him a little bit of a reprieve because we know that Jos was a hard taskmaster from what we hear anyway. I can't say we know, just from what we've heard. Jason Calloway says, Dan, I put a bet on the teammate you picked to win $5. He's in third place and he should pass soon into second. If he's allowed to. I don't know what the McLaren team orders are at the moment. They are 2 and 3 behind the Red Bulls. I think they need to be smart. I mean, there's not just a driver's championship to go after. There's a constructor's championship to go after. If they spend too much time battling each other, Max is going to... Look, he's already opened up a 1.4 second lead. The McLarens can't focus too much on battling with each other.
No.
Verstappen on the radio says shifts should improve over the course of the something. I don't know whether he said over the course of the lap or over the course of the stint, over the course of the race.
I think it was like next 2 laps.
I hope in the next 2 laps he's what I hope. 6 laps gone in this 53-lap race. Verstappen out in the lead. Norris 1.4 seconds behind him. And Piastri in DRS range behind Lando. Leclerc in 4th. No change to that top 4 until now. Somebody's just gone for a nice dive down the inside. That was Lewis Hamilton. Lewis Hamilton has just taken Isaac Hadjar and moves up into 7th. So it's interesting that top 6 all on mediums. Lewis Hamilton on the hard tire. This race could find its way falling in Lewis Hamilton's favor with some nicely timed safety cars and flags and whatnot. But of course, we know that Lewis doesn't have a whole lot of luck with safety cars, does he? Or he'd be another extra time world champion by now. But I digress. Let's not go there.
The internet still hasn't gotten over it, and neither has Dan, apparently.
Let's go back to the moment all those years ago that turned me off Formula One for a couple of seasons. 1.7 the lead now for Verstappen. He's pulling away. The McLaren's probably just serving some tire life, conserving some battery, recharging. Of course, Verstappen, he's got that clean air out in the front. This is not how I wanted this race to go. 7 laps in. All right, I'll see if I can get this this thing up on the screen now.
Some life into the TikTok stream.
Yes. Poor TikTok.
We haven't forgotten you yet.
All right, what do we want? We want this one. The vertical game, and I'll paste a reference in there. Plenty of laps left, says Odd Poppet. Yes. Oh, and who knows if rain is still on the forecast or what? So many things can happen. Plenty of time left indeed.
Norris now 2 seconds behind Max. I'm breaking Dan's heart by just saying that.
Yes, and Verstappen's on the radio saying shifts are a bit better.
Just like magic, they've fixed themselves.
Harrison Chicken Nuggets, ahoy there. Welcome along. on the TV, they're just talking about Hamilton's hard tire strategy. He's the only one in the top 16 on the hard tire. So he is going for it. It's what I was talking about, like from down in 19 and 20. Why not take the punt, start on the hard tire, go for that extra long first stint, and who knows, a well-timed safety car, a bit of rain, a grass fire. As Norris pulls it back under 2 seconds, well, momentarily, for one corner. Jamal, ahoy, mate. All right. Concentrate, Dan. Back to trying to get this up on the screen for the TikTokers.
Well, I'm way beyond my my estimation of one of the McLarens getting past Max by the fifth lap, but
they just didn't stick within DRS range. They weren't able to. Max, that clean air.
Silly me thought Norris wouldn't have covered up his start, but you know.
Yeah, well, I mean, as far as Lando goes, it probably was a pretty good start. I mean, he got a decent jump.
He's had worse.
He's had much worse. He normally loses places at the start. I remember talking to somebody about that. It's like, boy, the McLarens are quick, but Lando has got to work on his starts. I think he has been better this year. Do we agree with that in the chat room? Lando's been much better on the jump so far this season. Yeah, pick up the pace, Lando. 2 seconds behind. 9 laps in. When will our first pit stops be? Sort of lap 15?
Yeah, 15 to 17. Yeah. Actually, no. I'm gonna say they'll start to come in at 13.
Not Hamilton.
Someone will come in 13.
Yeah,
no.
Not Hamilton. He's on the hards.
He's on the hards.
Gained a place.
Let's see if Ferrari can not stuff up a pit stop for once,
or just an entire race strategy. Norris on the team on the radio. There's possible rain lap 20, class 1. 1 lap doesn't change our plan. 1 lap of rain.
Oh, someone's booked it in very precise.
I thought they were going to explain to us what that 1 lap meant. 1 lap of rain, or it would hardly be worth it. Okay. 10 laps gone. Verstappen holding that 2-second lead, although Lando Norris has just set the fastest lap of the race. So he's picking up the pace. And there he is, bringing it down under 2 seconds. Lando has decided it's time to go, and he's opened up a 1-second lead on Piastri as well. He's definitely put the foot down, Lando. Wonder if he got a little shove along from the pit wall. Oh, here's a pit stop.
Oh,
Lance Stroll's in.
Oh, well, I got that wrong too, didn't I?
He did start on the softs though.
I thought they would have lasted a bit more than 10 laps.
Yeah, well, Doohan's still out there. Doohan started on the soft tire as well. See, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong here, but wouldn't the whole point of starting on a soft be to ideally make up some places at the start of the race?
Yeah.
Because you got the quicker compound.
Yeah, which he was ahead of Bortoletto, and he got that far.
Yeah, he did.
He did make up some places. So some place.
Whoa, what's this? Albon is chucking a major wobbly on the radio.
Oh, and this is what we live for. All the time.
Alexander Albon has just chucked the major wobbles on the team radio. That was hilarious. Oh, what was he on about? He was on about the shifts, wasn't he? Same as Max.
Yeah. Actually, strangely enough, yeah.
Same complaints as Max. All right, there we go. That's a bit better. There's something a little bit more interesting for you to look at on TikTok. Sorry that it took me 11 laps to concentrate long enough to get that up there. So there you go, Max Verstappen. That 2-second lead has opened up again. Ahoy there. Mailou. Ahoy.
Ahoy.
Oh, that's right. That's Will Main, I think. He changed his name just to mess with me. Yes, okay. I finally remembered. Michelle says, legit thought you were kidding when you said there was a Lando. Why? That's his name. Jesse says, Yukon's doing better than Liam. He has overtaken Lawson, yes. No, I wonder when that happened. That slipped under my radar.
Oh, yeah. I haven't even noticed that myself either.
Norris brings that lead just back down under 2 seconds again. So maintaining that lead, Verstappen at the front. And Piastri's now dropping back. Although he's just set the fastest lap, he has dropped back 1.5 seconds from his teammate. So Red Bull, unfortunately, are controlling this race at the moment quite nicely. The sons of bitches. No change to that top four. Russell still in fifth. Russell has actually brought himself within DRS range of Charles Leclerc. So we'll keep an eye on that. Russell. He could be about to make a move up into fourth spot. Hamilton still there in seventh, 1.4 behind Antonelli. And he's making a pretty decent run of it on those hard tires. So, I mean, that's what the others have got to look forward to, I guess. Here they come down the main straight. This is Leclerc and Russell. Russell's got that rear wing open. He's closed right up now. Right up there on Leclerc. And Russell, I think, is only 1 or 2 laps away from fourth spot. "13 laps in, and yeah. Oh, Norris, tire update. No sign of graining on any compound. This is a rear thermal limiting race. He's brought that lead down. Norris, he's put the foot down again. Verstappen probably just harvesting at the front. We know that McLaren has the much better tire wear than Red Bull. So as Verstappen's tires start to leave, that'll be an opportunity for Norris to close up the gap a little bit towards the back end of the stint. And it'll be interesting to see what they do. I dare say that they will split the two McLarens in terms of race strategy. They're a bit far off for the undercut. Oh, Yuki Tsunoda's family. They look thrilled. It would be pretty poor. Unless you were involved in the teamwork, it'd be a bit dull, wouldn't it? Just hanging out in the team garage. in fairness,
Having smoko until the 20th lap or so. I suppose anything can happen in the meantime. You never know.
Yeah, not like Monaco. At least you've got a boat to hang out on. Oh, Audrey says, who do you think will pit first, Maxi or Lando? Well, as I was just saying, I believe that the McLarens have much better tire deck than the Red Bulls. I would say that Red Bull will come in first. I mean, Norris is 2 seconds back, so there's no thought of an undercut. Norris is going to have to put the foot down. I think Lando, if they're going to try and undercut, Lando's got to try and get himself a little bit closer. Odd Poppet says Max is pitting first. You would imagine so. Would imagine so.
Well,
15, whoops, sorry.
Oh, I reckon. I'm just gonna say I reckon they'll probably hit at the same time. I reckon it might just.
Well, I think the McLarens have to stay out just to put pressure on.
Yeah. So at least one of them can get in first.
Yeah.
And the other one can do some work to, try and get ahead of. Yeah.
If Norris closes the gap, then they can bring Norris in. If he can get into undercut range, then Max has to respond, and they can leave Piastri out. Piastri will gain track position and move into first. But Norris has got to put the foot down. He's got to get closer. It's absolutely pointless even having the discussion at this stage. Norris has got to get closer on this stint. Otherwise, there's no threat of the undercut. But, I mean, at least if they pit Norris... no, then Piastri's too far back. No, they've got to get within undercut range. They've got to... And he's losing ground now, Norris. Yeah, it's an interesting one. It's thankfully a decision I don't have to make. We're not playing F1 Manager. Yeah. I don't have to make this call.
I'll probably Actually, I'll change what I said earlier. I reckon Norris will pit first before Max. Piastri will get ahead. Hold Max back hopefully. Once Max does pit. Hopefully that won't bugger him up.
Yeah, it's an interesting one.
How's he doing? 0.7 seconds behind Gasly.
Oh, yep, Sonoda closing in on 12th spot.
Yeah.
He's got the rear wing open.
0.58.
He's a little bit too far back. A little bit too far back to make the jump on this occasion. Marky Bates, says 2 position changes in 15 laps. So boring. All right, a little bit of rain, a little bit of grass fire. Anything can happen. Collingwood, GOAT, number 23, says, come on, Max. Boo.
We don't want that.
Yeah, but out in the clear air, controlling this race, dictating terms at the moment. I'm really surprised, actually, at how easily he broke away. I mean, I know that he's out in the clean air, and that's where Max loves it. That's where everyone loves it. Out in front in that clean air, opening up the gap. But, yeah, I wasn't expecting 16 laps in. McLaren's race pace, they're obviously, well, not obviously, but they must be just controlling their own pace at the moment. I would have thought that they would be faster. Game ML, ahoy!
Go. What's colour signs done? Oh, there we go.
Oh, signs. He ran wide.
Yeah.
Wow, ran straight on. Went straight through the chicane. No real consequence there from Sainz down in 15th, although he is within DRS range of Liam Lawson now. Lawson in danger of dropping down to 15th. 17 laps to this one. It's still Max, Lando, Oscar, 1, 2, 3. And Max has just maintained that 2-second lead every time that Lando, you feel like he's putting the foot down to try and close up the gap. Max just breaks away again. He's obviously just harvesting out the front there. Got that 2-second lead, and he's maintained it the whole way around. We're on board here with Yuki Tsunoda. And he's trying to track down Pierre Gasly. Speaking of F1 Manager, like I did just earlier when we were talking about pit stops, for anyone who's played F1 Manager, one of the funniest things ever, I had Pierre Gasly in my team. I played as Aston Martin, and I had Pierre Gasly as my number one driver. And I remember when I got my very first ever race win, and they play the team radio at the end of the race. And they did him dirty, Pierre Gasly. I won the race with Pierre Gasly, and his actual audio bite. Oh, here we go. Our main time loss to Verstappen is the hairpin, is the radio signal from the McLarens. Losing time mainly in the hairpin. So Pierre Gasly's radio bite, his actual audio clip for Formula One Manager official game when he wins a race is, I don't know how I've done that. And I went on a series of race victories with Gasly, and that's the funny thing with the game is not only did they do him dirty with the radio message, the audio clip in the game, but it never changes. I won five back-to-back championships, five world championships in a row. We come out in season number 6, win the first race, and he says, I don't know how I've done that. It's like, mate, you're a 6-time world champion. I think you know how you've done it by now. I ended up just switching all the audio off, so I didn't have to, because it just felt ridiculous. It's like, you're a multi-time world champion. Why is your soundbite still, you have no idea how you win in races? Well, I was wrong about the pit stops as well, because we're in lap 19 now and nobody's come in. Oh, Leclerc radio. We'll keep on extending. No gaps yet at the back.
Jack Doohan pitted for hards. So
oh yeah, yep. He was on the softs. He was indeed on the soft tire.
The second Aussie driver. Not that he's really doing too much for.
He's not what?
Not that he's really doing too much to make us Aussies proud, but.
Are you saying that Doohan's not doing too much?
Doohan's not doing too much at all.
Love it.
Oh, dear.
Lee Bowden, ahoy there. Odd Poppet says 2 more laps. Max and Russell will head in. You know what? Interestingly enough, because I know, Jamie, you're a relatively new Formula One fan, right?
Yeah.
I've been following Formula One pretty much my entire life. And when I was a kid, I always wanted to be a driver. And it wasn't until I got a little bit older, and then the reality sort of set in about all the ridiculous weight limits, and I went, you know what? I think I won't be a Formula One driver. I'll just, eat. I'll eat and play footy. How does that sound?
I think it's worked out all right.
It's worked out fantastically. Although, you've seen the amount of money these guys make.
Oh, mate, yeah.
There's 3 sports. There's 3 sports that I really ever seriously contemplated pursuing in my life. Formula One, as I talked about, but I don't regret not following through that for the reasons I just said. The really strict weight limits, and I mean, you don't see a fat Formula One driver, so that pretty much ruled me out. Tennis, even though I was always a bigger kid. Oh, someone's into the pits.
But Russell in the pits with
Piastri. It's told the box. Piastri is the first one in. So there we go. It's no threat of an undercut, but McLaren have taken the jump first. So that says to me Norris will stay out. Well, potentially. Oh, no, look. No. Actually, Norris is pushed. Norris is 1.4. I reckon Norris comes in next lap. Norris is now on the brink of undercut territory. Oh, now this has just got interesting. So they put Piastri in. Piastri comes out in 9th. And he's made a switch to the hard tyre. He got himself out in front of Alonso. Alonso is in DRS range, though. Now it's become very intriguing. Do Red Bull respond to that pit stop? Piastri is going to go hard now and try and close that gap. He will put the foot to the floor, so to speak, now. And Norris will push and try and close that gap, get himself into undercut territory, which will force Red Bull's hand. It's going to be a case of one will do. And, oh, here we go. This will be the lap. Verstappen responds.
There we go.
Norris is in. Leclerc's in.
They are pitting at the same time. Here we go.
Verstappen's in. Norris is in. Leclerc's in. The top three have pitted. Where's Piastri? Keep an eye on that. The top three have. And Antonelli moves into the race lead. Hamilton behind him. Hadjar up into 3rd. Albon up into 4th. And there's been an issue coming out of the pit lane from Norris. Norris coming out of the pit lane.
What was that?
He just crept onto the grass a little bit and had a little bit of a wobble. Norris on the radio, he forced me off. Let's have a look at the replay. Yes.
I glanced down for a second and put my food down, but
Norris comes out 1.8 behind Verstappen, so he lost time there on that wobble.
There's that replay.
Ollie Behrman and Lando Norris very close there, exiting the pit lane. Here we go. So Norris, here's the replay. Norris into the pits.
Oh,
side by side with... Was that Verstappen? Verstappen.
Yeah, as much as I'd like to say
Verstappen, he drove himself into the grass.
Yeah.
There's Verstappen. It was Verstappen and Norris side by side coming out of the pit lane. Norris is claiming he was forced off.
Norris should have known better. And I know it's like, you know, it's all as everything's heated, it's all happening. But yeah,
they were a little bit too aggressive there, McLaren.
Yeah.
Norris, he saw me alongside. I was easily alongside.
Was Max supposed to like just stop and say, hey, give way? Like,
yes.
You first.
Yes, he was. Verstappen's opened up quite a healthy lead now, 2.2 seconds on Norris. So he certainly reaped the benefits of that little altercation. Interesting. Verstappen on the radio. Also, he pressed the pit limiter off too early. There's no way that was legal. You shut up about what's legal, Max.
Officer Max on the case.
Well, that was a little bit of excitement. Here we go. Here's another replay. The Red Bull's out. They've released the McLaren. Oh. They're side by side. Norris is on the grass, has a big wobble. And then Max is off into the distance.
Surprised there was no fires from that one.
I know, right? Must be all that moistness. All that moisture. As Verstappen overtakes Albon. And he puts some more space now in between himself and Lando. That gap almost 3 seconds. Norris has got to get himself up and past Albon ASAP. Yeah, well, look, I've got to say, as much as we know that I dislike Max and Red Bull, overly aggressive there from Lando Norris.
Yeah.
There's a time and a place to get the elbows out, and the pit lane's probably not one of them. Had he just fallen in behind, he would have been in DRS range coming out, and he could have attempted his pass.
Yeah, he shot himself in the foot there. Really.
He did, really. Yeah. I hate to say it, but
me too. I mean, it probably pains you even more to say it, though.
Well, Max is, unless there's rain or some other complications, Max probably cruises to victory now. He's got over a 3-second lead. It's almost 4 seconds now. As a matter of fact, I think it might be 4 or 5 seconds now that he's got up on Norris. And yeah, Norris just destroyed his race there, I'm afraid, by being overly. Had he just fallen in behind, he would have had DRS. Ah, well. Not to worry. It's been a good couple of races to start the year with no Max winning. It had to come to an end eventually, didn't it?
Yeah.
As Albon into the pits. Alonso into the pits. Gasly into the pits.
I wonder how Stroll's going on all the way at the back there. I don't know if that was a wise choice for Aston Martin, but must have really been struggling on those softs after 10 laps.
Oh yeah, well those softs, they would have got chewed up. Alexander Albon on the radio.
Okay.
Alexander Albon is on absolutely blasting his crew on the team radio. He is telling them that you guys make absolutely no sense, and their response was simply okay.
Okay, just it's like in the messenger on Facebook, just that's the old thumbs up, just okay.
Like, you're a clown.
Yeah.
"26 laps into this race of 53, and it's Antonelli leading from Hamilton. They have not pitted, though. Verstappen in third, Norris in fourth, 2.2 seconds behind him, so he has got past those slower cars in front and closed that gap up.
No further investigation for Verstappen and Norris, surprisingly.
No, that's fair enough. Fair enough, because there was no contact, there was no issues. Norris screwed himself up.
Wonder if Norris did accidentally or on purposely take off his pit limiter though. That have speeding in the pit lane or?
Oh well, my question is, how would Max even know when Lando took his pit limiter off? He would
Max
just
did
be,
it too.
he would just be assuming that, like, oh, he got up on me pretty quickly. But
yeah.
No, Max, it wasn't the pit limiter. It was that you had a slower than normal pit stop. That's how he got up on you so quick. But anyway, it's no further investigation. That's fair enough. Yeah, I mean, I really, really want there to be an investigation into Max and a 5-second penalty? No, that's not big enough. 10-second. But no, because there's not even a way for me to make that argument.
And we've got still got Kimi Antonelli, Lewis Hamilton. Who we got there? Liam Lawson, Carlos Sainz yet to come into the pits. Ocon and Bort still to come in the pits.
Yeah, and I tell you what, some sort of Norris is on the radio. They said no further action on the pit exit just means we'll have to overtake him on track. You're doing a good job on the tires, a better job than he is.
I think that's just a bit of a little bit of a pep talk. Just
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Like it's okay, little Lando.
Like head down, bum up, Lando. Stick with it. So, if there is a safety car in sort of like the next 5 or so laps, Lewis Hamilton and Kimi Antonelli come right into this race. It would be an absolute godsend for these two out in front. Kimi Antonelli, youngest driver to ever lead a Formula One race. There you go. Oh, and Antonelli has had a time deleted for track limits. Razor says someone needs to throw some banana peels on track to make it more interesting. Nintendo sponsorship incoming.
With what they're charging for their new games when they release a Switch 2, I would not be surprised if that happens.
Audrey says Kimmy's tires still look good. Yeah, well, I mean, he hasn't pitted yet on the mediums. He's maintaining that 4-second gap to Hamilton. "28 laps down." And I tell you what, Norris, he has made some ground up there on Verstappen. That gap now just 2 seconds again. It's been around about what it's been for the entire race, apart from that little mishap on the pit exit. Oh, who was that? Sonoda.
Oh.
Sonoda going straight through the chicane. Locked up a little bit there. Just going straight on. Odd Poppet says the green shells are much more chaotic. All right. Well, now that the excitement of those pit stops are out of the way, let me see what I can do here. Let's have a I think that's cool for TikTok. There's only so much you put on a TikTok screen.
Yeah.
So I think that's cool. The 1, 2, 3, the number of laps that have been and gone. It's got the gap there. Now, what can I do on YouTube screen? Let's have a look at that. What would you like on YouTube? Odd Poppet, you're a big F1 fan. What should we have on here? It seems like I have to pay for that one if I want this one.
Yeah. I was looking at that before. I wasn't sure if you had to refresh it or
Yeah.
but it seems like a subscribe thing, which I assume is subscribing with money.
I would assume so, yeah. Which, I mean, if we were doing this on the regular, I would.
Yeah. Actually works out pretty well on TikTok. It's
Yeah.
because I mean you got the comments on the bottom anyway, so
Exactly right.
yeah.
Exactly right. Oh, you wouldn't say a big F1 fan? I wonder if he's been sarcastic or not.
What's that?
That he's saying not a big Formula One fan. Yeah, so it looks like I have to pay for that, which is fine. I mean, oh, hang on. Zoom in. No, that's just the track layout.
Yeah.
Okay, no, that's cool. I can look into that a little bit further.
Yeah.
Vincent Spears Music, ahoy, mate. Whoop, and here we go. A battle with Sonoda, I think it is. Oh, no, this is Verstappen we're following. Verstappen is overtaking some back markers. Oh, that's all. Okay. They made that seem a lot more exciting than it actually was. Oh, yep, that's that one. If I put another... window capture up here. Oh, Hadger up into 9th. And here... Oh, Hamilton's into the pits. Hamilton's into the pits. The safety car didn't come. An incident didn't happen. And Hamilton is in the pits. Verstappen goes through into 2nd. But Norris is now only 1.6 behind Verstappen. He's closing in. Lando Norris is closing in. Piastri still 2 seconds behind in 4th spot. Hamilton comes out in 7th spot, well ahead of Liam Lawson. Has Lawson pitted? No, he hasn't.
Oh.
Lawson's still out there on those mediums.
Wonder how he's gone. Carlos Sainz still to
Kimi Antonelli's still out there on the mediums as well in the race lead.
Yeah. Jeez, I wonder I wonder what he's thinking right now, if he's crapping his pants or what.
Yeah, Hamilton with the lock-up. Couldn't keep Verstappen behind him anyway. It looks like he was coming in regardless. Vincent Spears Music. I've got Piastri challenging the world title this year. Got plenty of races left. Kimi just finished his classes too. He was probably doing his classes while he had the study books open. Probably not. Vincent Spears Music. Is anyone getting F1 25?
When it probably when it comes on sale this time next year, I reckon.
Yeah, that's the. I do the same with a lot of sports cars. Antonelli's in the pits. He finally comes in. Where does he come out? Russell's gone through. Does he stay ahead of Hamilton? Russell's gone through. There's Hamilton coming down the straight. And he has come out ahead of Hamilton, indeed, maintaining, it looks like, that 4 second, or that's dropped down to a 3 second lead. So Antonelli now 2.5. So he did lose some time by staying out that extra lap or two, but he had enough of a gap. He still comes out ahead of Lewis Hamilton. So we've got Verstappen in the lead, but Norris is closing in. 1.4 seconds. Remember when they came out of the pits and Norris had that little wobble? It was about a 2.5 second lead. So Lando has just been taking chunks off Verstappen.
Got to work.
Oh, Vincent Spears Music. I've still got F1 97 on the PS1. You want to talk about banging games? F1 97 in its original case. Haas are changing positions. Ocon in 12th, Behrman in 13th. And they've just gone on the radio to Ocon and said, we're switching places. Switching places. Let Behrman through.
Ocon must be pitting soon. Yep, there we go. It's right on the side. I see it on the lap timing.
Oh, right. Have you done any of those open lobbies?
Oh
on F1
no,
game?
no, I wouldn't dare to. That's just kamikaze. That's just
Yeah, I watch some videos and stuff. There's some creators out there and some streamers, and I watch clips of their sessions in the open lobbies, and
yeah.
it's just what's the point? Oh, Gasly, I didn't catch a word of that.
No.
I apologize. Yeah, some of those free for alls in the open lobbies, but there's a really good one. There's probably a couple of them do it, quite a few people, but there's one in particular that I like watching. They troll the open lobby dive bombers.
Some great videos out there on Formula One games, just messing with the other players.
Norris now 1.4. It's just, sort of maintaining that gap. He pulled it in. Verstappen is just maintaining, though. Can he keep it up? 33 laps of 53 gone.
Someone's just made me realize that Stroll's back on the mediums again. It's like, the hards did nothing for Stroll.
Who's my Formula One goat? Oh, look, my favorite driver as a kid was Ayrton Senna. Yeah, I was just thinking that, Audrey. Actually, Audrey's just raised a question in the TikTok chat. Will there be a second pit stop? I've got a feeling on the hard tires, they'll try and push this through to the end.
Yeah.
I mean, what Hamilton did. Hamilton started on the hards. How many laps did he do? He only just came in recently. I reckon they're trying a one-stopper here.
Depending on if there is a safety car or not later in the race, I reckon. If there is a safety car, I mean,
Yeah,
surely there's going to be a spot for soft spot, right?
You would think you take the free pit stop,
Yeah,
if it's available. KB says, considering Kimi stayed out till like 3 laps ago on mediums, Hamilton ain't pitting. Yeah, exactly right. Hamilton switching to the medium. Everybody else on hards, that's probably no need for another pit stop. But if there is an incident and they get a free pit, they would obviously take it. Or one would assume so, anyway. 35 laps down. We're keeping an eye on that gap out in front, which has now just opened up a little bit more.
Oh.
Who have I got for the footy tonight? I've got the Melbourne Storm to beat the Sea Eagles and the Bulldogs to beat the Knights. Marley Prime, no multis on the footy today. I only put multis on if I'm watching the game, so which I could. I could do a split screen and have the footy on, but do I think George Russell will win a world championship in the next 5 years? Well, that all depends on car development. Anybody's got the capability of winning a championship if they're given the car. It's a combination of the right car, the right driver, and the right time, basically. Yeah. All those things together create a world champion. Stroll can't win in any car. I reckon Stroll would have won plenty of races in the... just to confirm, we are happy for you to push from here. Okay, so they've got on the radio to Verstappen and just said, just in case this gap is closing up because you're driving within yourself, you don't need to. It's basically that radio message. That was the underlying message there. It's like, you can go for it a little bit. Because Norris was taking chunks out of that lead. It's maintaining now around about 1.4 to 1.5 now. as Verstappen does decide to get a little bit of a push on. But yeah, basically, Vincent Spears' music, Lance Stroll would absolutely win a world championship. Any of these drivers would win a world championship in the right car. Yeah, it's as simple as that. Norris now has put the foot down as well. He has responded to Verstappen, and he brings that gap down to 1.3. Oh, we're going to be in for a close finish. Piastri's pushing as well. Piastri brings his gap to Norris down to 1.2. Or it could still be a McLaren 1-2. They're not out of range.
Oh, I'd love to see that.
Oh, I'm like, are you laughing because you feel like I've just jinxed it now?
I mean,
And it's got no chance now that I've actually drawn attention to it.
never say never.
Except,
Never say never.
except for the Titans ever winning a premiership. Odd Puppet says, damn, I just realized Antonelli pitted when I went to the toilet.
I just realized a minute ago that Lawson pitted and he ended up on soft, so let's see how that works out for him.
Yeah, down there in 17th. On the soft. Sainz on the soft as well. Norris at 1.3 seconds behind. Piastri pushing almost within DRS range of Lando. Are the two McLarens about to go to war? Honestly, I think there needs to be a call. And, I mean, they could use... I used to do this on F1 Manager. You use the main straight here to do like a little bit of a... what's the word? Use the DRS to just keep...
Yep.
Christ. Don't you hate it when you forget just basic word? Like what should be a basic
like
word?
the momentum or...
Yeah, like they just give each other a toe.
Yeah.
I would do that on F1 Manager. Down the main straights.
Give each other slipstream and...
DRS, boom, you go past. All right, now we're going to DRS back. And you close up a 1.2 second gap. That's a video game, though, of course. And a really, and honestly, a really poor one as far as realism goes. But doesn't quite work that easily in real life, I'm sure. But anyway, Norris still hanging around that 1.3 second margin. Buddy, 38 laps into the 53 lap. I still haven't done this on YouTube. Oh, I'm terrible. Okay. Where are we? That's the one, I think. Nope, that's not the one. That's the one. Right. .38 of 53, and he's only 1.3 seconds behind. You're a bit of a Debbie Downer, mate. And then he's running out of time. I mean, he does need to get a press along. But I wouldn't say it's that dire. Vincent Spears Music says, in my F1 18 career, Fernando Alonso is terrible. Not a single top 10 finish all season. 39 laps out of 53 down. Verstappen, it's only 1.1 seconds the lead. Norris is coming. Sorry, I'm such a child. Norris is getting... Oh, it's opened up again. He's getting himself closer, though, Norris. Piastri also about to enter DRS range. We're going to be in for a great finish here, I reckon. This race has got some life left yet. All right. Vincent Spears Music says if it weren't for Verstappen, Red Bull would be failing right now. And Verstappen, he was obviously playing possum. He's opened up a 1.4 gap now. Oh, Verstappen radio. Just tracking potentially incorrect. Adjust at the stop. Well, not incorrect, adjust, but an issue with the flap.
I don't understand what all that meant, but
Oh, there's an issue with the flaps. It was bleeding obvious. But yeah, Verstappen just maintaining that 1.4 gap. Norris looked like he was closing in at one point. Piastri is now within the DRS of Lando Norris. And I've got to tell you, if Oscar's got the better pace, switch him.
Oh, it's only a matter of time.
Switch him. Think about the champion. Won't someone think about the Drivers' Championship?
Please, think about the championship.
They've got to let him past. He's clearly the quicker of the two. I mean, he closed his 2-second gap up on Lando.
Yeah.
Norris is still 1.4 behind Max.
Yeah.
Let him through and let Piastri have a crack.
It's quite obvious.
I mean, remember, Mercedes did this once. Mercedes let Hamilton past Bottas to have a go at whoever was in front of him. And when it failed, they swapped back before the end of the race. Lewis dropped back, gave Bottas position back because he couldn't catch the man in front. They could do the same here. Let Piastri through without a fight. Go after Max. If he doesn't get him, swap back before the end of the race.
Yeah. I mean, Leclerc's, nearly 9 seconds behind. So, I mean, they've got some room to work with. So.
But that being said, Norris is probably harvesting battery right now for another attack at Max. And Piastri can just use the DRS. He can harvest himself. Maybe they can have an all-out attack at Max towards the back end of the race. But they just got to watch that gap. Yeah, no rain. It's been a dry race. Maintaining that 1.4 second lead. All right. I think I'll not worry about that today.
He's struggling
I've
with
got
that.
I've got it on the I've got the I'll be able to set it up for next time. I've got all the gear there now. Matter of finding the ideal position. I think we've got TikTok sorted out nicely though, which is a good start. We can sort the I mean, YouTube's still got the 1, 2, 3 down the bottom and just the top 3.
Yeah.
All the rest of the stuff might be too small and inconsequential to see anyway. In fairness, might be all we need. The top 3. 42 laps gone of 53. Verstappen just maintaining that 1.5 second lead. Piastri's in DRS range of Lando Norris. I'm assuming the McLarens are harvesting here to have one last attack. Oscar Piastri, if Lando is still saving, I think he should go soon. I think I have the pace to get Max. What we were just talking about, if he's got the pace, let him through, unless Lando is holding back. If Lando is preserving battery, harvesting, there's 10 laps to go. It is time to go. Max is not going to give up that position easily.
No.
And Oscar Piastri on the radio, just letting his team know, let me through. This is Lando's pace. Okay, like I said, I think I have the pace to get Max. That's the radio with Piastri. Let me through. I'm quicker. We can win this race. Let me through. This is going to be very interesting. Verstappen radio. Didn't catch a word of it.
No.
Razor 994 says Stroll driver of the day? Question mark.
I mean, with more pit stops than anyone else on the grid, no doubt. I can't even say what it was straight face.
Always according to his dad. Oh, here comes Piastri. Piastri is closed right up here on Lando.
Obvious.
And I think he is basically gone. Oh, well, I've got the DRS.
Yeah.
If you're not going to let me through, I'll go through.
I'll do it myself.
That's it. There's only 9 laps left. I feel like they've cooked this, McLaren.
Yeah, no, they're shooting themselves in the foot here. Leclerc is 10 seconds behind Piastri.
It's only 1.3 seconds. Like, has Norris got that little bit extra?
Doesn't
seem to. Like, he gets it to 1.3. Max opens it back up to 1.5. I'd be look, as a team boss, well, if I were a team, I shouldn't say as a team boss. If I were a team boss, that'd be my call. As Piastri now drops outside DRS range of Lando Norris. I think they've cooked this, McLaren. I really do. Or Lando has picked up the pace. In fairness, that could be it as well. He's been harvesting.
No, not very much pace anyway.
Stroll about to be lapped. If Stroll can avoid being lapped, he gets driver of the day. Is that fair?
I think so. That's. I'll get ready to put my my vote on for that.
Because when was the last time, without a safety car or some sort of intervention, that the last driver on the last place hasn't been lapped by the front runner?
It's pretty rare to see, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. Without, safety car intervention, something. "45 laps of 53 gone, and no, Norris hasn't really picked up the pace. That gap still around 1.3, 1.4 seconds. Piastri has dropped back as well, outside of DRS range. And have really cooked it, I think. Have really, really messed this race up. Oh, Verstappen's closing in on Lance Stroll. Here he comes. Can Lance hold off he's not really allowed to, is he? There'll be a flag out for him, and he lets him through. Stroll has now been officially lapped by 1, 2, 3. All 3 of the top 3 go through and overtake him. He's not allowed to fight, so in fairness.
No longer our driver of the day.
Oh! 1.1 seconds. Norris has put the foot down again. Oh, God, they're nervous. They're nervous in the McLaren garage. This is the closest Norris has been since the start of the race. 1.1 seconds. Piastri. 1.1 further back still. This is going to be a tense last. I better go pee while I've got the chance. Be right back.
I got this. Looks like Red Bull's a little bit nervous as well. I'm gonna go over here. I can see the chat a bit better over here. While Dan's away. So I've got the one of the arms in my view. Don't worry, I'll pop it. He won't have missed a thing. I can see the chat better over there.
Oh, fair enough.
I've got the arm in my view over here.
I was thinking to myself, like, he surely knows that microphone works.
No, I know very well.
The chat room.
Otherwise, I've been talking to no one this whole time.
Okay, so it's open back up to 1.2 seconds. So maybe I shouldn't have left. He's definitely closed it up though a little bit, Norris. 47 laps of 53 gone. How much battery does Norris have? How much can he harvest without giving too much of a lead back? Can he get within DRS?
They should have swapped about 5 laps ago at least. It's a bit of a joke.
He's just maintaining that margin, Max. Although he was maintaining it at 2 seconds for a majority of the race. They've definitely taken chunks out of him. But have they taken enough? Probably not.
I really don't know who to put for the driver of the day.
1.1 seconds. It keeps drifting. 1.1, 1.3. Down the main straight they go. Piastri, the rear wing is open. He's back within DRS. 48 laps down. Ooh. How's Max's battery? That's what I'm more interested in. How much battery has he managed to harvest as Norris brink of DRS range? Audrey suggests Kimi for driver of the day, which is probably a pretty fair.
At the moment, we're sitting that the top 6 has not changed from their qualifying, so it's.
Could it be about to though? Oh, just as we said, and Kimi driver of the day question mark. He goes straight on through the chicane.
Yeah.
Norris dropping back to 1.1 again. Max just maintaining that just outside DRS territory. Antonelli, you're the fastest man on track. Was the radio message there from his crew. Kimi Antonelli with the fastest lap. Norris running out of time. There's 4 laps remaining. Piastri with DRS. Will he take a lunge? He's a bit far back. He's a little far back. Piastri, but he is right on Lando's rear wing. And now, do the McLarens lose ground to Max? They do. They're busy fighting each other.
It's all this time they could have been Oscar's breaking a bit earlier because he needs to give Lando a bit of room, but
Exactly.
yeah, they're just really hurting themselves, I think, by keeping Oscar back.
Yep, and they're running out of time here. But now I think that they'll still be ahead, obviously, in the championship.
Oh yeah.
So
It's
maybe that's the way they're looking at it. They'll take a 2-3.
in terms of constructors, yeah, a win's a win, you know, in that sense.
And Norris drops back down now to that 1.4. They got so close. Norris was 1.054 at one point. So he just couldn't that extra little bit. And Max is now, Max was obviously harvesting. Max is now off into the distance.
Yeah. I think McLaren might be receiving a little bit of fan hate mail in the coming days, maybe.
Oh, I'll be straight on the socials after the race to see what the feedback is.
I'd be shocked if you weren't.
Piastri's even dropping back now as the McLarens, I think, have just settled into a 2-3 finish.
I think Jack Doohan should be my driver of the day.
Where's he? He's up to 14.
Yeah, he's made up 5. Let's say 5 plays.
Yeah,
so that's yeah, I thought Myers were deceiving me there. After I said earlier that he's yet to make Australia proud. not doing anything. Yeah.
Oh, they're pretty stupid, Jason Calloway. They're pretty stupid. Ferrari not so hot today. Ferrari have not been so hot the entire weekend.
Yeah.
Burko, ahoy, mate. Yeah, I think Ferrari have been not so hot all weekend.
Which is a shame. They could be doing so well, but they've just lost their mojo or something. A bit sad, but
well, it seemed like they were starting out all right. Hamilton got the sprint win.
Yeah.
Sorry, I've been trying to be more active on Instagram because all that sort of stuff helps with promoting the streams and whatnot. So.
Hope everyone's been enjoying the coverage today. Well, the live stream today. Certainly appreciate you being here.
Yeah, it wasn't the like Max's one basically from start to finish, but it wasn't the drive off into the distance
not that we're used to.
No, not what we're used to seeing. Like he maintained the gap. McLaren may have one final push, maybe, as Norris gets to 1.2 seconds. But there's only two laps left, and I'm pretty sure that Max is just harvesting out in front there. There's no DRS down this main straight, and they come across the line for lap 52. They've just run out of time, basically, McLaren. Just ran out of time. Never again will I bet on McLaren, says Jason Calloway.
I did not think that was for some reason I thought that might have been Vanilla Ice. I was like, that doesn't. That was a bit odd.
And Max was indeed harvesting because he has just gone boom and opened up a 1.5 second lead again. So, yeah, I mean, McLaren we were talking in those middle laps about all the different scenarios. And they just didn't. They didn't do anything. Yeah, they just do anything. Here we come. Max is through over the line to start the last lap. And he's 1.5 seconds clear. He's just been maintaining that gap. a big missed opportunity for McLaren. Massive. And they got so close. They got so close. 1.054 seconds was the gap at one point, and Norris just couldn't find that extra little bit to get within the DRS range. Max just maintained that gap the whole way through. Ah, well, that was depressing. But I mean, look, it's the.
Can you imagine what it would have been if Lando didn't mess up that pit exit?
Yeah, it would have been so much more exciting at the back end there. I don't understand. He was overly aggressive. He was just overly aggressive coming out of that pit stop. Had he just fallen in behind, he would have had the DRS. He would have had a chance to attack. McLaren do get second and third though, and that will maintain just Lando's lead in the championship. Oh boy, well, for McLaren, where did it all go wrong? I mean, pit stop strategy, obviously. Pit stop strategy, obviously, a big one. So Verstappen, Norris, Piastri, Leclerc, Russell, Antonelli, Hamilton, Adja. I think Hamilton's the only one who made a place in that top 7. Pretty sure that's how they qualified, right? Down to Hamilton.
Yeah.
Hamilton jumped above
Adja.
Yep.
Top 10 almost nearly completely unchanged.
Audrey, are you streaming the next race? You know what? I will. I enjoyed myself. I don't know that Jamie will be able to, unless he chucks a thickie.
We'll see.
Yeah.
I'd basically have to go home and then go straight to bed for work the next day, I think. But, I mean, if people enjoyed me being here today, I'm happy to see what I can do.
Yeah, I actually had fun. I had more for a race that was dominated by Red Bull. I enjoyed myself, surprisingly. Yeah. Oh, shut up! Red Bull on the radio to Max saying, that's perfection. Boo! Audrey says, thank you. Coming all the way from Austin, Texas.
Ahoy.
Very nice. Very nice.
Is that Audrey saying that she is from Austin, Texas?
Yeah, I believe so, yes.
Yeah, very nice. Ahoy from Brisbane, Australia.
Yeah, cheers
drink
from
that.
Brisbane, Australia.
Yeah.
Quiet you, Adam.
Not that I can see what's in the chat, but I'm going to guess, what did he say? Simply lovely.
Yes, he did.
I cannot see that the webcam arm is in my way.
I see you know your brother well. Jason Calloway says, Lawson, 4th last. Is he going to get dropped again? Audrey says, that's so awesome. I've never met someone from Australia. Well, now you've met 2 weirdos from Australia.
Yeah.
Howlin' Master says, ahoy from Calgary, Canada. Oh,
ahoy to Calgary, Canada.
You know what Canada's famous for?
Maple syrup.
Not where I was going to go, but...
Oh, Lance Stroll?
No. God, no. The best there is. The best there was. The best there ever will be. Bret the Hitman Hart. Never mind. General Balandres. What a race by Lance Stroll. Simply lovely. Started 20th, finished 20th.
Mr. Consistent.
Mr. Consistency, yeah. Didn't that used to be George Russell's moniker?
I think so.
Yeah, in the Mercedes from like 4 years ago or whatever it was.
Probably more quite
Mr.
like
Consistency.
it.
Yeah. I feel like it was. Anyway, look, I don't like Red Bull, but you can't take Red Bull. You can't take this away from them.
No.
You can't take anything away from them for this performance.
Oh,
Look, McLaren obviously ballsed it up.
Yeah.
When you've got a driver in second and third, you need to be putting more pressure on the man out in front, the team out in front, and they just didn't do that at all.
No.
They didn't do anything. We talked about it in the middle laps of the race about all these different circumstances that could happen to just force a response out of the Red Bulls, and they just didn't do it. They just followed along. See, I would have thought, and I could be wrong, I'm not a race strategist or a team principal. I mean, heaven forbid that were ever the case. If you think Liam Lawson was treated badly, get the bloody army sergeant here in charge. You'd see drivers treated badly then. But I digress. They needed to do something different. I mean, you bring one in. I would have thought Norris. Especially since they were just going to keep Piastri behind Lando anyway. They weren't going to let him through to try and compete with Max. So if the case was always that Lando is the main driver today and they're going to keep Oscar behind, then you pit Lando and you give Oscar track position and keep him out there just to create. I mean, you never know what was obviously no safety car today or anything, but you just never know. You've got to risk something, and if they screw Oscar's race up, it doesn't matter anyway because they've shown he's not their top priority, or they would have let him past at the back end there when he clearly had the pace over Lando. And look how disappointed he looks. He knows. He knows.
Coulda.
Let him through.
Yeah.
He had the pace. He was faster than Lando. He looks so disappointed.
Yeah.
Poor guy. Adam says they lost a trick by not letting Oscar have a crack, which is what we were literally just talking about. They treat Norris too preciously, and this isn't the first time they've lost a race because of it.
Like, how many times in that race was Oscar on Lando's ass? Rear wing.
Oh, you're allowed to say after.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And, having to brake early, give Lando that room. And, so many times that Oscar could have got head on the, out of that corner. But coulda. It's a shame to see teams doing team things, I suppose, given a few bad calls. But hopefully they'll take that into the next race.
And that's the thing, right? It's like, it's there's the Drivers' Championship and you individuals in a car, but it is still a team sport. There's still things that you can do to work together as a team to compete. Audrey Guzman says McLaren politics is... Hang on, is that the same Audrey from TikTok who's now found us on YouTube? Or do we just happen to randomly have two Audreys that have found us in the same day?
What are the odds?
McLaren politics is Zach not wanting to parent, but be a friend. Good Lord. That was at the track, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Look
at his. I think it was at the last.
Like, what was that?
I think even at the last race something happened, and Oscar was like pulling, reaction faces to what's going on.
Yeah, so it's a team sport still, even though they're individual drivers, and sometimes you need to make a team decision, and they just didn't. It seemed like they were happy to settle for the 2 and 3. Audrey Guzman says, "Yes, I heard you say YouTube, and I followed for next time." Thank
nice.
you, Audrey.
Cheers, Audrey.
Cheers. Guzman, that's a hell of a last name too. One of my favorite baseballers of all time. Played for my favorite team, the Toronto Blue Jays. He was a starting pitcher, an absolute god of a starting pitcher, Juan Guzman. I realize you have no idea. Baseball, probably. or about who played baseball for the Toronto Blue Jays.
The other guy that you mentioned before from Canada.
Oh yeah, Bret the Hitman Hart.
Yep.
Yeah. The best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be. Odd Poppet says Community. What, the TV show? Like Senor Chang. I've been binging Community again,
Yeah, right.
incidentally, but that's got nothing to do with this.
One of the shows I want to watch.
Oh, you haven't seen it?
Not yet.
Senor Chang.
That Ken Jeong. Oh, is that? Yeah. I wasn't sure
Bruce.
if I was thinking of something else.
Sorry?
I wasn't sure if I was thinking of something else there.
Oh, yeah. Television. Bruce says Oscar going well this year. They should have let him through. Drive me crazy. I should post that photo that we took to Instagram. Actually, no, we should take a better one. I look like a thumb with a face. Let's take another one.
An interesting way to put it.
All right. I'm trying to be more active on the socials because apparently it helps. I've been told that it helps. It helps with.
Probably does. Did we get a super chat before when we didn't mention it?
Oh, sorry. Yes, we did. Odd Poppet. Oh, Brett and Owen Hart. Yeah. See, he knows who they are.
Ah, very nice.
Right.
What's that?
I still look like a toe with a face. Anyway. General Belandrez says, you reckon Storm gets up against Manly today? I do. And Bruce says Storm are up 18 points to 2. I heard that Manly actually took an early penalty goal, so it seems like that's about all they've done. All right. A quick pee. Want to jump over here?
Oh, might as well, so I can hang with the chat. Once again, everyone, thanks for joining us today. It's been an absolute pleasure. I don't not usually here for these co-hosting opportunities, but you know, it's what is it? What is it? 4:36 in the afternoon here in Brisbane, Australia, and it's been an absolute pleasure to hang out with all of you guys here in the chat, watching Formula One. It's a bit of a shame about the results, but you know, you get it. 266,000, apparently exactly 266,000 people in attendance over the weekend over in Japan. Here comes Dan back from his bathroom break.
Oh, I told you, I was just having a pee. It was just a quick one.
Oh, you know, go hang out in the bathroom, you know.
Audrey says, night, boys. It's 1:37 a.m. over there in Austin, Texas. Yeah, cheers, Audrey. Very nice to meet you.
Thanks for hanging out with us, and I hope to see you again in the future.
It seems like the chat room did go a little bit quiet after I left there.
It did a little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
That's okay.
See you for Bahrain. Bahrain.
Oh, it's Bahrain next.
Apparently.
Oh.
I had no idea. Apparently so. Yeah, no, look, I enjoyed that, even though the result didn't go my way. Didn't go my way today.
Yeah.
But, oh, here we go. Constructors' Championship. McLaren, I think, were just happy with that pile on of points. They seemed pretty settled for that 2 and 3 late. Oh.
Now they're laughing about it, but I'm not sure if they were laughing earlier.
The silence is deafening, as they say. They just show the replay in the cool-down room of the pit lane exit incident. And it created an awkward silence. Catch you later, Odd Poppet. Odd Poppet says, gonna head off. Dan and James.
Cheers, Odd Poppet.
It's 7:30 in the AM. God, some early mornings for some people there, huh?
I definitely was not at 7:30 a.m. this morning.
And I have to pop up to see Mam about 11-ish. No worries, Odd Poppet. Thank you so much for the super chats. And thank you so much for your company once again as we've branched out into something new here on the Wasted World of Sports. This is, of course, our first time covering the Formula One. Certainly won't be the last. Now, whether or not we do all of them is down to a lot of just general life logistics. I'd say because I don't see a reason why I couldn't do one of these on my own. It's just not something that I've really considered. There's some things that you just don't do on your own. And I mean, some of them we can't talk about on stream, but this was one of them. This was one of them. I mean, I honestly, if I were on my own and it became pretty evident that Max was winning this race, the chat room was quiet, I may have been salty enough to chuck my shits and leave. But by having a co-host, it keeps me professional-ish. As close as I can be to professional anyway. April 11th to 13th, Bahrain Grand Prix, 5 days away. There you go.
The Bahrain race is on at 1 a.m. on Monday, the 14th of April, so right. I will not be here. Saudi Arabian Grand Prix is on at 3 a.m. on a Monday morning.
Yeah, see, I should be able to. Those actually work out really well for me because they don't clash with the footy. No. But today's clashed with the footy. And the footy's my money maker, so it was actually a big leap to. Oh, does anyone mind if I mute this?
I'll go for it.
Heard that enough.
I don't think we don't want to hear the Dutch national anthem another time.
Audrey says, when you said honestly, you sounded like Daniel Ricciardo. Well, we are Australian.
Honestly.
Yeah, Audrey just when you said honestly, you sounded like Daniel Ricciardo. We are Aussies, after all.
I don't know. I can't really remember how Daniel Ricciardo says, honestly, but...
Yeah, I can't say that I've really... I don't have a back catalogue of audio clips of Daniel Ricciardo saying honestly. For some reason. I feel like I should have that.
I've just flicked ahead to the Formula One schedule, and the next race at a not horrible time for me is Azerbaijan in September. So that's at 9 p.m. That's at 9 p.m. our time. So I'll probably see you guys in September.
Well, you sit up for the races anyway, don't you?
At home, yeah, but then I just have to walk upstairs to go to bed. So
yeah, we'll patch you in.
Yeah, true. Yeah, that'll be.
If you're up for the race anyway,
then
you may as well be on the stream up for the race. You don't have to come around here. I mean, you're welcome to.
Not that it's that far away from home.
I was going to say you're obviously always more than welcome to, but you don't have to. We can patch you in remotely if you're up anyway and wanted to join in. Yeah. Anyways, we're just rambling at this point, I suppose. So, I mean, there's still 45 watching on TikTok.
Yeah.
Listening to us.
Thanks for being here, guys.
Ramble on. That race is your birthday.
Which race? The
Azerbaijan?
September 21. Yeah. So, well, I mean, maybe, remind Dan and maybe we can make a thing about it.
Yeah, we'll have to make that one a special one. You know, I do have the birthday music on cue always, just in case it is someone's birthday. Right. Yeah.
Is it anyone's birthday today? The 6th of April.
I'm sure it's somebody's birthday somewhere. But yeah, I've always got the birthday music ready to roll.
But yeah, you never know.
And I always just hope that people aren't lying to me, because when somebody says it's their birthday and you make a big deal out of it, you play the music and it's suddenly in the chat room. Yes. You know how it works. Suddenly they hear it and you play the music and you do a big salute to them. Here it is. There. How cool is that?
Pretty good.
And there's also a backing track as well, but it's very hard to get it timed correctly. It's very hard to because you've got to be really on the ball here, and somehow you've got to get from over here to over here very, very quickly. Ah, see, I didn't do it. So yeah, there's a bass backing track and the main music. But yeah, so you play that music when it's someone's birthday. You say cheers, happy birthday to you, and wish you a very happy birthday. You drink up, and then suddenly it's everybody's birthday. They go, oh, I want that too. My birthday today.
Next thing you know, you're playing it for every other.
Exactly.
person
Next
in
thing
there.
you know, that's the entire stream. It actually is my birthday next.
I was going to say, I mean,
yeah.
I was about to say before, I didn't want to call you out on the stream, but
No, that's all right. We just, as I said to Michelle the other night, we don't give a number. A woman never tells. All right, we probably should go. I've run out of things to say.
not really much else to talk about.
I'm just not used to that many people on a TikTok live stream.
That's good.
Formula One's the thing on TikTok, huh?
Must be.
Audrey's the only one chatting, but that's fine. I'm cool with the lurkers as well. I love the lurkers. Lurkers contribute the numbers. Obviously.
That 38.
Well, some people just don't want to chat. That's the thing.
Yeah, that's it.
Some people don't like to put themselves in the spotlight. Odd Poppet says, play the song. And on that note, I really do think we will head off. Thank you so much. This was our first time on Waste of World of Sports covering the Formula One. We usually just do the footy and occasionally the cricket and of course the wrestling. We do the wrestling as well. So not all the time though. We do it sometimes. This was our first time exploring Formula One. Really enjoyed it. Apart from the result, of course, unfortunately, that had to happen.
It's good. The thing of the memes, man. There's gonna be so many great memes coming about. I cannot wait for it.
And despite the lack of positional changes throughout the course of the race, it still wasn't Max just driving off into the distance. There were still moments there that kept us very interested. Specifically, the pit stop period, and then it looked like that going into that last sort of 10 laps, it looked like McLaren were going to make one final push. They got to within, Lando got to within 1.054 seconds at one point. Max was obviously just harvesting, though, keeping himself within his limits and pushed away at the back. Yeah, it is what it is. Fortunate, but I mean, it's unfortunate for people like myself who don't like Red Bull and are sick of Red Bull winning. I don't know, Audrey. I don't know. I wouldn't have found this interesting myself. I would have already swiped through, to be honest. I would have swiped past myself.
People just love to see a couple of intoxicated Australians ramble.
Look at this. This guy's a thumb with a face. Next. Hollywood, number 23, says up the Max. Yeah, up him all right. I know that's not what you meant, but Bruce says Storm 18-8. The Manly have hit back, huh? Put a try on. I could do the next game of footy, but I probably won't. I'm happy to take the day off today, in honesty. But the race took it out of me. Not in a bad way. No, well, that's what, like I was saying, you can't begrudge, no matter how much you dislike a team, and by you, I just mean in general. Yeah. We all know it's just me.
Yeah.
When it comes to the two of us, it's just me who dislikes Red Bull so immensely, but you can't begrudge that performance.
No, Red Bull did nothing wrong.
They did nothing wrong. McLaren did quite a few things wrong.
Yeah.
Had McLaren not done quite a few things wrong, then surely somebody gets past Max. I think Piastri had the pace at the end. Lando just needed to be patient exiting the pit. They had the better pit. They had the better pit stop. Yeah. And I can understand Lando's enthusiasm to try and get the jump and get past. I mean, it's a free pass, basically. That's the way he would have been looking at it. It's a free pass. Don't have to do it on track. I don't have to fight for it. They screwed up their pit stop a little bit. So I can completely understand in that sense, but it was too much of a risk. I mean, what was he expecting? Max doesn't yield at the best of times, let alone in the pit lane where he doesn't have to. Like, it was ridiculous to get up alongside him there in the pit lane. Craziness. So had he just been patient, Lando's got him in the next couple of corners, I reckon.
Yeah.
He would have been within DRS range, would have got him on the next couple of corners. Been all she wrote. McLaren in that clean air out in front would have opened up a gap. And then it would have been up to Oscar then to close in on Max. Norris could tactically push him back a little bit into Piastri's DRS range.
Yeah.
Who knows? So many what ifs. Woulda, coulda, shoulda.
It is what it is.
Anyway, there was another super chat there. Odd Poppet, play that track. He wants to hear the track. Okay, so for the Formula One people, we do have official theme music for the channel. It's not Formula One though. Is the thing. It was specifically made. This intro jingle was specifically made for our rugby streams. Rugby league or union, doesn't matter. It's all about the banter. And so we had this theme song done specifically for the streams for that. Odd Poppet on YouTube has just donated £5 to hear it. So how can I deny him
very generous.
that? So for the Formula One people, I do apologize that this song has nothing to do with F1, but it is the theme song of our channel. Enjoy.
Welcome to the wasted world of sports, where the game's just a backdrop for drunken retorts. Rugby league or union, it's all fair play, but it's the banter that steals the show. Hey, 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 hey. Ahoy, we're here to make some noise. It's all about the laughs, the fun, and the choice. Join us in our world, where the banter is prime. Wasted world of sports, we're having a good time.
Oh, sorry, Bruce. I didn't want to talk over the top of the song. I was just talking to Jamie here.
Scrums and tries, they're all well and good, but we're here for the jokes and 10 pence less from the kickoff to the final whistle blow. We'll take the 2 and we're ready to go. Ahoy, we're here to make some noise. It's all about the laughs, the fun, and the choice. Join us in our world, where the banter is prime. Wasted world of sports, we're having a good time. We break down the plays, but it's all in jest. With the laugh and the cheer, we bring out our best. No serious analysis, no expert critiques, just a bunch of mates sharing plenty of drinks. We'll raise a load, from sideline jokes to post-match tales, all the big goofs and their big fails. We're not so serious, and that's our style. With each ahoy, we raise our skies. Ahoy, ahoy, we're here to make some noise. It's all about the laughs, the fun, and the choice. Join us in our world, where the banter is prime. Wasted world of sports, we're having a good time. So come along and join our sporty crew, where the banter's always fresh and the laughs are true. Oh, wasted world of sports, here's to our cheer. We'll see you on the pitch and drink some beer. Yeah!
Odd Poppet. I hope that was worth the £5, mate. because I would have played it for free. But still, I appreciate the super chat. And yeah, look at that. Not too much damage done on the TikTok. Welcome along, TikTokers, by the way. Our first time covering the Formula One. As I've mentioned a couple of times, Audrey was certainly good luck. She said so herself. Our good luck charm from Austin, Texas.
One, yeah. It's very lovely having Audrey with us today.
Have you seen Road Trip? The movie Road Trip?
Not for a long time.
Austin, Massachusetts. You mean Boston? What I said, Boston. Anyway, sorry. Good movie. Yeah, so Max Verstappen, Lando Norris, Oscar Piastri, that is your top three for today. Our first Formula One race, and certainly not our last. I enjoyed it. Despite the result. Was McLaren. Oh, boy. McLaren, what do you say about McLaren? They needed to split strategy. I just can't understand that. Why they didn't split Norris and Piastri. You keep one out on track, surely. Keep one of them out on track to force the issue. In a trance, 64 says Oscar had the pace. Oscar knew he had the pace too. He was on the radio. Oscar got on the radio and said, "Is this Lando's pace? Because if it is, I know I've got the pace to catch Max."
Yeah.
And you know what that message meant. That message meant, if this is as fast as he can go, for the love of God, let me through. They came back to him on the radio and said, this is Lando's pace. Nothing changed. McLaren just, it does my head in, honestly, because we saw the same not last season. I wasn't watching last season. The year before, maybe, or a couple of years ago, Ferrari started the year with clearly the better car, but it was just their strategy that was constantly letting them down. I hope that we're not seeing a repeat of that now with McLaren, who are just going to cock up the strategy all season long.
Well, I was looking up who the driver of the day was.
Oh,
and,
yes. Who was it?
Yuki Tsunoda. I don't know.
Fair enough.
Probably because it was his home thing.
Probably. Yes.
I don't really think he did
If
much.
if it's true that there's like more people tuned in race than any other race, then it probably makes sense that he would get a lot of the votes. A lot of the votes. So yeah, I don't know. Does anyone pay attention to the part of the day anyway, as any sort of legitimate thing?
No, not really.
It's just a bit of fun, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, just because it's his home race. Antonelli got driver of the day recently, and that made no sense. Yes, that's right. That's right.
Chinese race.
Yeah.
Like he didn't. I don't think he did well, but he did. I think it was because he should have got it the before.
Lee McKay.
Oh, Lee!
Ahoy, mate. What's happened here? I must have bumped that on the way out at some stage. Lee McKay, how are you, mate? He says rather sleepy GP.
It was a little bit. I couldn't figure out what for life me was going on with your reaction there.
I wanted a really tense build-up.
I can't see.
I know. Well, I wanted to build it up. Yeah, Kimi Antonelli getting driver of the day. Brianna, ahoy there. It did finish. Max Verstappen winning from Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri. McLaren doing poo-poos on race strategy. Terrible. In a trance, 64 says, I honestly think once Piastri nails his qualies, he will be close to the top, if not the top.
He's definitely got potential. I think McLaren just need to put him forward a little bit more. But it is what it is.
Oh, do we know Lando's first pit stop time? Is that something you can find? Sorry to put you on the spot. Yeah, because the McLaren pit stop was a lot in the context of Formula One. The McLaren pit stop was quicker than Red Bull's stop, and that's how we got in the situation that we got, where there was that issue coming out of the pit lane with Norris and Verstappen side by side exiting the pit. It was because Verstappen was in first place. So the fact that they were even side by side on exit, McLaren clearly had the quicker stop. And that grass pit situation was wild. I still say over regression from Lando Norris. I want nothing more than to say it was Max's fault. But even if Lando just falls in behind, then he's in DRS. I completely understand what a free pass. They had a slow pit stop. Red Bull never have a slow pit stop. We're getting a free pass here in the pit lane. I don't have to do it on track. So I understand him wanting to go for it, but surely the long game, it would have made sense to just yield, slot in and get the DRS. Play the long, and that all comes with experience, doesn't it? That all comes with learning and experience. And Lando, he'll get there one day, for sure. If they keep giving him the car to compete, he'll be competitive. But I think McLaren really do need to have a sit down and a think. I mean, it is, as I was saying earlier during the stream, I did say they're individual drivers, but it is still a team sport at the end of the day. And McLaren really do need to start making some team decisions. Let Oscar through. He clearly had the better pace. He could have made very good crack at Max there at the back 5 laps. It's all if it's not a simple find, it's all good.
Oh, I just don't know where to look.
No, it's fine. Oh, we don't need the specifics. It was a quicker pit stop than Red Bull anyway. That's how we got in that situation. Lee McKay reckons that Max turned right if you look at the onboard. Well, it wouldn't surprise me if he did, but I unfortunately still say Lando shouldn't have been there.
Yeah. There wouldn't be nothing new for Max to try anyway.
Lando should have play the long game. Sometimes you've just got to play the long game and yield. And if he yields, he comes out right behind him rather than having that wobble. He had that wobble on the glass. Wouldn't it be interesting if they had races on glass? That'd sort some people out, I'm sure. He had that wobble on the grass, and then he ends up exiting that pit stop like 2.5, 3 seconds behind. Whereas had he just fallen in behind, played the long game, fallen behind, he would have had DRS down the main straight on the very next lap. Jason Calloway says Manly is paying $5 to win. You think I can back them to get my money back, McLaren? I think what you should do, Jason, is send a social media post to McLaren and say, you sons of bitches cost me money with your stupid strategy. It still does my head in. Look, I'm no expert by any stretch of the imagination at anything we cover. But, I mean, if it makes sense to me that you split strategies, then this is me, like, drunken dickhead, thumb with a face, saying this. Then surely these guys know that. Split the strategy. Anyway, I digress. Brianna says, sorry, it's because I had a bet on and it hasn't loaded. No, that's all good, Brianna.
But yeah, it was Brianna asking.
Oh, is it over, the race?
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, that's all good. More than happy to help out. What was your bet? Because we got a nice close up there of Harry Grant's asshole. That's great. That's what we want to see when you put the footy on. Lee McKay says, you're right, Dan. About the split. You split the strategy. Hang on. Lee McKay says, you're right, Dan. Thank you. And also, the TikTok chat room likes my idea of a race on glass top. I did actually have, I might have them in the other room. I won't bring them out on the stream because you probably wouldn't be able to see them anyway. Does anyone remember Micro Machines? Aging myself again. I had Formula One Micro Machines, and I used to race them around my parents' dining room table, which just so happened to be glass top. They weren't happy when some of those scratches got on there, and some of those little Micro Machine cars were taking the corners too quick, stuffing up the glass. McLaren will be in trouble if they don't set at least some sort of rules around driver pace, and it's not the first time that we've seen this. It's clear that Norris and Piastri will be racing each other. They need to set some standards. And today's standard seemed pretty obvious to me. That Piastri is quicker.
Sorry, I feel like I was meant to be on the ball there. And sort of
I was thrown over to you, but I mean, if you had nothing to say about it, that's all good as well.
I was in another realm then for a moment.
Piastri had the quicker pace, so should have let him through. I go back to that story because some people might not have heard it earlier, like when it actually was in the process of happening. I went back to the story of a race. I don't remember where it was, but I know that the clip is still to this day circulating on social media, YouTube Shorts, that sort of thing. And this is the sort of team strategy that we're talking about. When Mercedes, Hamilton got on the radio, he was behind Bottas in the race, was for a majority of the race, but he had the better pace at the back end. And he got on the radio and he said, look, I've got the quicker pace, let me through. And if I don't catch him, I'll give the position back. So Valtteri steps aside, lets Lewis through. Lewis puts an attack on, doesn't catch the man in front, which I believe was Sainz. Maybe it was one of the Ferraris. I'm pretty sure anyway. And he didn't catch him. Pulled back, gave the position back to Valtteri. Like, that is how you do the team game.
Yeah.
They should have let Oscar go through, let Oscar through, put him on the attack, go after Max, and if he doesn't catch him, yield, give the position back.
Yeah, basically, Max didn't really have the pressure that he should have had from the McLaren.
No, 1.054 seconds, which is pretty close, but that's as close as they got at the back end of that race. They never made a push further than that.
Unbelievable.
I mean, how do you get 1.054 seconds and not be pick on that extra little bit? Get within the DRS range. How did they lose that DRS space in the opening anyway? I mean, I thought for sure those opening 5 laps, they would have been able to track them down. In a Trance says Max should have been fighting hard for his position, but never had to. Exactly right. Yeah. Frick Cheese says the booing is so annoying. Sorry. I just don't like Max. I don't think Frick Cheese is talking about me booing Max either. Frick Cheese, one of our regulars over there on the TikTok. Cherry Evans isn't getting booed, is he? Yeah. Oh, okay. The Manly fans constantly booing. Are they booing Cherry Evans? Because Cherry Evans is leaving the club.
Right.
But he still plays for them. I'm just wondering if they're booing him. Yeah, I will forever boo Max Verstappen and Red Bull. That's just the thing you're going to have to live with. If you're going to join us for F1 streams, understand my hatred for Red Bull. I'm impressed that I actually got through it. Quite frankly.
I think you probably had that sort of thing in the back of your head saying, yeah, stay civil, you know.
Yeah, there is a certain you're presenting yourself, you're covering a sport. You can't just go off track, so to speak, in the middle of the thing. I do the same with the footy. Obviously, I really hate the Broncos. But when the Broncos go on a big tear and get a big win, sometimes it's tempting to walk off, but you're like, oh, look, I've committed to this. This is my job now. I've committed to this. I've got to stick with it. In a trance says, I really thought the Ferraris would be doing better. Yeah.
So did I.
What can you say about Ferrari, though? Every year you feel like this is the year. I think they're focused on 2026, though. Like the other race aside where Lewis won the sprint, I do think that they're focused on 2026 already.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. James Edgar. Ahoy there, mate. Oscar done good for third. Do you think he has a chance this year? Well, we were talking a little bit about that just before. It was raised in the chat room by Inner Trance, I believe it was, who said that McLaren need to make some decisions around the rules. The rules regarding their drivers. How hard are they going to fight? Who's number one? Who's number two? That sort of thing. Because if they don't, then they'll find themselves in a situation like they were today, where they were sort of battling each other rather than trying to chase down Max. So they probably should have been focused on chasing down Max and trying to put pressure on the race leader. They seem to get too busy fighting each other. But for mine, Oscar, and not for the first time, Oscar has shown the better pace, especially towards the back end of a race. Maybe there's some decisions that need to be made at McLaren.
I do. Because I think someone at some stage should have actually taken over and said, swap positions, or instead the whoever makes those decisions in the pits just did nothing.
No,
seemingly did nothing.
And that's what we were talking about as well. Like the strategy. Never mind who's going to be the first or second driver. Just the strategy was, they did nothing. And I'm going back to just a video game, and it's an unfair comparison in a lot of ways, because we've established that the video game, the F1 Manager video game, is not exactly realistic. But why they didn't do something different? Yeah, just bewildering to me. Inner Trance says, when you account for how much experience he has over Norris, Piastri is really impressive. Ra Cyan says, this was a hard track for overtaking. The pits did more damage, almost quite literally, when Max and Lando were side by side there. Lee McKay says, Zach Brown makes the final call, and he didn't do it today. Somebody said it might have been in a trance again, actually, or it might have been Audrey. But somebody did say that Zach Brown is too busy trying to be mates
Yeah.
with these drivers rather than a boss, and that can be a big problem. That can be a big problem. At the end of the day, you've got to be a boss, and if it's Zach Brown's decision, then Zach Brown needs to be the one that says, "Look, this is what we need for the team." I mean, there's no two ways about it. They made a complete mess out of that today, McLaren. Complete mess. They didn't put any pressure on Red Bull at all. I mean, how many times in 2021, for example, when Red Bull were fighting Mercedes for the championship, Red Bull and Mercedes, either or, how many times did you see it where we'll do the opposite of what the other does? Whatever they do, we do the opposite. They come in, we stay out. They stay out, we come in. Or they'll pull a rabbit out of the hat and go, this is an earlier than expected stop, but this is our best chance at victory. We saw it all the time. It was pretty much every race weekend. McLaren just don't seem comfortable or confident enough to make those sorts of decisions and go, look, we've got to do something different here. Let's make Red Bull think. Red Bull didn't have to think about anything today. They just went out, did their race, weren't asked any questions.
Could have been amazing. But...
Lee McKay says Webber has in Oscar's contract that he will not be a number 2 driver. They're certainly treating him like one.
Yeah.
If that's in the contract, then I think someone needs to take this case to Judge Judy. Certainly being treated like a number 2 driver at the moment.
Yeah.
With some of those decisions. Phoenix 13313 says Max Verstappen. Maxi 1. Max Verstappen fan there, presumably.
Oh, could only assume.
Yeah, it's interesting. Webber being a private manager. Zach Brown needs to stop pleasing people and make the hard decisions. See, like all good team managers should. Got to make the tough calls sometimes.
Yeah.
Red Bull aren't afraid to make a tough call. Just ask Liam Lawson. Just ask Daniel Ricciardo.
Oh, yeah.
Just ask. God, there's too many to name, isn't there? Audrey Guzman. She's still there. Zach is American, i.e. a winner. But also too nice a guy, apparently. Too nice a guy. All right, I do absolutely love that we've got like 100 people on TikTok, but I'm completely out of things to say. I mean, I've always had a rule, like you never end a stream when you've got numbers, but we are quite literally out of things to talk about
Pretty
now.
much just repeating ourselves at this stage.
Yeah. Oh! Wiener, she said, not a winner.
Ah, yes.
Makes more sense. No, In a Trance, Wasted World of Sports is live on YouTube, live on Twitch, live on Facebook. We normally do the NRL, the Super Rugby, the cricket. This is our first time venturing out into F1. And I've quite enjoyed it. So, yeah, I mean, I've always had the rule in live streaming because I've been doing this for a while now overall. The first Formula One stream, but might not be the last considering the numbers we got.
No, I think it definitely drew in some people, and I'm very grateful for it.
Yeah, I always sort of had a golden rule, and it's was you never end when you've got so many people viewing, but we're just race is well done now, and we're out of things today. But Wasted World of Sports, yes, live on YouTube, live on TikTok. Are the socials in my bio? They probably should be, but they're probably not. wastedsports.com.au, though, is our official website. And although the news section on there is out of date, everything else should be up to date.
You've got YouTube.
I do?
Yeah,
okay. Oh, no, but that's Intoxigamer.
Oh, yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
Not the Wasted World of Sports.
Have you got that?
I probably should update that.
Yeah.
Anyway, wastedsports.com.au is our official website. I'm pretty sure everything's up to date over there. This was our first Formula One coverage. Certainly won't be the last.
No, definitely not.
We've had fun. Thank you so much for joining us. And absolutely out of things to say. It wasn't a bad race overall.
Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us. It's been wonderful. Hope to see you again sometime soon. But the next available one for me is Azerbaijan. So see you in September.
In person?
yeah, in person.
Well, yeah.
I'm sure we can figure out something.
Absolutely. Absolutely, we can. Yeah, it's very easy to patch you in.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, everybody. Wastedsports.com.au. Live on YouTube, live on TikTok, live on Twitch, live on Facebook. Catch you later. Cheers.
Welcome to the wasted world of sports, where the game's just a backdrop for drunken retorts. Rugby league or union, it's all fair play, but it's the banter that steals the show. Hey, 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 hey. Ahoy, we're here to make some noise. It's all about the laughs, the fun, and the joys. Join us in our world where the banter is prime. Wasted world of sports, we're having a good time. Scrums and tries, they're all well and good, but we're here for the jokes and 10 pants last from the kickoff to the final whistle blow. We'll take the two and we're ready to go. Ahoy, we're here to make some noise. It's all about the laughs, the fun, and the joys. Join us in our world where the banter is prime. Wasted world of sports, we're having a good time. We break down the plays, but it's all in jest. With a laugh and a cheer, we bring out our best. No serious analysis, no expert critiques, just a bunch of mates sharing plenty of drinks. We'll raise the road, from sideline jokes to post-match tales, all big goofs and their big fails. We're not so serious, and that's our style. With each ahoy, we raise our skies. Ahoy, ahoy, we're here to make some noise. It's all about the laughs, the fun, and the joys. Join us in our world where the banter is prime. Wasted world of sports, we're having a good time. So come along and join our sporty crew, where the banter's always fresh and the laughs are true. Oh, wasted world of sports, here's to our cheer. We'll see you on the pitch and drink some beer. Yeah.